Hello and welcome back to Journeys with May. My name is May. I am a personal performance coach, amongst other things, but it is my greatest desire and drive to help people come into the fullness of who they have been created to be. And in today's episode, which is the final episode in the Resetting the Mind for Productivity series, we'll be exploring an incredible yet often overlooked technique. It is the power of words. But before we get into today's episode, if this is your first time stopping by, welcome. Let me encourage you to like and share this podcast if you haven't already, as well as subscribe to the channel. A shout out to my returning subscribers. I really do appreciate your engagement with the podcast and the channel. Thank you all. In the first episode, I talked about the brain dump method, a powerful way to clear mental clutter. In the second episode, I talked about the 5-4-3-2-1 technique to help break through procrastination. And today, we'll focus on how the words we speak can dramatically impact our focus, especially when we apply this simple yet powerful method or a twist to it, which is while we explore the power of words, we focus on our mouths as we speak. Trust me, this small habit has transformed the way that I engage in deep, productive work, and I believe that it can do the same for you. All right, so let's dive right in. Have you ever noticed how what you say directly influences how you feel and act? Have you ever maybe taken a note of that? That's because words are powerful. Scripture itself reminds us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Even science backs this up. When we speak intentionally, we engage our brain differently, bringing clarity, focus, and intentionality to the forefront. But here's the key. When you focus on your mouth as you speak, your mind is naturally drawn to the present moment, sharpens your awareness, strengthens your concentration, and trains the brain to stay engaged with the task at hand. Here's how you can apply this simple yet effective method. Number 1, choose your focus phrase. Now, let me give you a twist as to how I use this. Now, what's your focus phrase? It's just a phrase that grounds you in your work, something that you choose to say to help you focus. For example, for me, I do some of my work in color codes, and whenever I need to take a break from work, say something needed my attention, in order for me to remain focused, I say the last work that I did or the next work that I need to do when I return in a sentence or in a phrase. For example, I could say going to orange, which means when I return, I'm going to start from orange, or going from orange, which means I just finished orange and I would go to the next color. This helps to keep my mind on the task until I return. And so, number 1 for you, you could just choose a focus phrase, and let me give you a few. You could simply say, I'm focused, or I'm fully present, or this task is my priority. So choose a focus phrase. And number 2 is speak it out loud enough while you're focusing on your mouth. Remember, I mentioned this earlier. As you say the words, deliberately focus on the movement of your lips, the shape of your mouth, the sound of your voice. This physical focus helps block out distractions and sharpens your mental clarity. So, number 1, choose your phrase a focus phrase. Number 2, speak it out loud. Number 3, combine it with some deep work techniques. Now, these are some of the techniques that I recommend and it helps some of my clients to use to help them focus on the task or their goals. Some of these methods are like time blocking or the Pomodoro sessions for maximum effect while using this technique. For instance, before starting, say, a 30-minute walk sprint, you could speak your focus phrase out loud while observing your mouth, focusing on the way the words are coming out of your mouth, rolling off your tongue, and repeat it. If your mind, drifts sometime during the session of work, repeat that to yourself, still focusing on your mouth, still focusing on your lips as the words roll out. And number 4 is anchor this in your daily routine. Make it a practice. Practice this habit consistently at the start of your work sessions or whenever you feel that your mind is wandering. Repetition strengthens the mind-body connection, and that's what we want to take advantage of here. How repetition strengthens the mind and body connection, making focus more automatic over time. Now, the power of this technique, those are the four steps, to engage this technique. The power of this technique lies in engaging your senses. By focusing on your mouth as you speak, what you do is your visual and tactile awareness combine with your auditory sense to reinforce attention. This then creates a powerful anchor that helps keep your mind from drifting. That's what you want to take advantage of. Just harnessing your senses to keep you focused. And I've personally found this technique incredibly helpful, especially during intense writing sessions or strategic planning, or even in moments of mental fog. It's simple, but it's powerful. Just a couple of weeks ago, I've had to do so many things, juggle a number of projects, and I went back to this technique and it's helped me tremendously. And I thought I should share this, with people to help them, especially we live in a world where there's so many things trying to distract you, trying to take your attention. And it's important that when we set out to do a task, when we set our hearts to achieve a goal, that we do whatever we can to stay on course so we don't veer off, thereby losing focus, losing momentum, and not achieving the goal or completing the tasks towards the goal. Productivity is not just about finding a perfect system. That's a myth. You can't find a perfect system. But what you can do is you can develop habits that train your mind to stay present and engaged. So the system that you actually are working does work for you. The system that you're building your goals around actually works. By practicing intentional speaking and focusing on your mouth, you're equipping your brain with a practical tool to enhance focus and drive deeper work. You see, these techniques, the ones that I shared in the first, second, and this final episode, they're not magic spells. I wouldn't sit here and tell you you're going to try this once and your life will completely be transformed. But they work. These techniques, they work if we believe that they will. And if we put in the effort and stay consistent, then you would see the power in these techniques work for you. That's how they've worked for me. That's how they're working for my clients. If you've tried this technique or you plan to, I'd love to hear your experience. So feel free to reach out in the comment section and let's continue this conversation. Thank you so very much for joining me in this series, Resetting the Mind for Productivity. Remember, your words hold power. Use them to shape your focus and fuel your success. Until next time, stay productive. Bye for now.